Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Tuesday, February 6th. Got 8 games today on this Tuesday, so a nice size slate for a Tuesday. We're going to go through each position like always, talk about some guys we want to target in each position, and of course I'll give you 5 of my plays that I see early looks at this slate, 5 guys that I definitely think I'm going to be targeting come lineup lock. And before we get started, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet. Make sure you subscribe so you'll never miss out on any of my new videos. But yeah, guys, looking at point guard on today's 8-game slate, really loaded position. Got a lot of good plays up top, in my opinion. Definitely a lot of value I see as well at this position. And you could go to the mid-tier, pretty loaded just all around. Starting up top, really like one of the options up top here, one of the expensive options. You could play Harden against Brooklyn. No problems with that at all. You do have to worry a bit about blowout. But D'Antoni, we've seen him play Harden, play Paul. These guys will get like 30 or more minutes, even if it is a blowout. You could play Harden here, but I just love Russell Westbrook against this Warriors team. Westbrook always gets up for these games. I feel like he's going to play really well today. Earlier this year, against the Warriors, Westbrook put up 67 DraftKings points, played 36 minutes, had 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists, was 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Always like taking Westbrook in these games where he's going to be going up against a big opponent like the Warriors. I feel like Westbrook always gets up for these games and tries to play really well. Love Westbrook here, especially in tournaments. You can play Harden for 100 more, but I think I prefer Westbrook. Just one of my favorite overall plays on this slate. I think he has a monster game today. I think the Thunder could have a chance of winning this game, and Westbrook going to be a big reason why. So if I'm paying up at this position, Westbrook's the guy I want. But if you do want to take some savings, I really like Curry here for $2K cheaper. Curry definitely seems a little bit underpriced at $9,600. He's under $10K. Which is something we haven't seen from Curry in a while. Haven't seen him this cheap. And I feel like this is same kind of spot with Curry. This is one of those games he gets up for, plays really well at home in Oracle. Curry, we know, going to shoot the ball really well in these big-time games. And given his price tag, I don't mind at all if you want to take the savings off of Westbrook and go down to Curry. Those are 2 options that I do see up top at point guard that I do really like. And in this mid-tier, you could go here today. I'm not seeing a lot of mid-tier plays I'm absolutely in love with. Definitely like the value at point guard today. Not sure if I'm going to go to this mid-tier. Like, you could play like Terry Rozier if Kyrie's out again. But Rozier, he's now priced up to $7,300. And I'm not sure he's that great of a play when he's this expensive. Just not a lot of mid-tier plays I think I have to have today. Definitely a position I feel like I'm either paying up for Westbrook or Curry, or just going cheap. A lot of value I see. You could play Satoransky at $5,200 as sort of a value play. Been playing really well with John Wall out. Been getting the minutes, the production. He's been consistent. 26, 24, 22, and 36 DK points his last 4 games. The minutes have been there for Satoransky, seeing at least mid-20s, close to 30 minutes a game. You could play him at $5,200, but sub 5K is where I see a lot of value. I do have some plays that are point guard eligible that you can play a shooting guard I like for value. But one of the point guard only plays I like for value is Tyler Ulis at $4,200 in a matchup against the Lakers. Really like Ulis here as a value option. We've already gotten news that Devin Booker is going to be out today and that Tyler Ulis is going to replace him in the starting lineup, and it's going to start at point guard. So Ulis, without Booker off the court, going to have the ball in his hands a ton. Really going to facilitate this offense. With Isaiah Cannon out for the season, I think we see Ulis play close to 30 or more minutes here. Might even see like 35 minutes. Ulis has been serving as the backup point guard to Booker, and now with Booker out, Ulis is going to start. So I think we see Ulis get heavy minutes here. This is a great game to load up on. A lot of value in this game I see. This Phoenix-LA game. Definitely a game I'm going to have a lot of exposure to. Should be high scoring. Hope it stays competitive. A lot of good plays in that game I see. Early looks at this slate. Tyler Ulis is one of them that I like. So definitely have a ton of interest in him today at $4,200. He is the point guard only play I see for value. But there are value plays that are shooting guard eligible. We'll talk about them over as shooting guard. So I think that's it for point guard. For the value, let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard. This is another position where I do see value. There are guys at point guard that are eligible at shooting guard, and those are the value plays I'll touch on here. But you could obviously pay up here. You could play Harden here. You could play Curry if you want to play him. But I feel like this is another position where I'm probably not going to the mid-tier, going to go cheap at this position. But there are mid-tier plays that are definitely interesting, like Brandon Ingram against Phoenix. Great matchup here. I don't like playing Brandon Ingram when Lonzo's off the court because he hasn't been that great with Lonzo off the court. But he's been playing well lately, and Lonzo has been out. Ingram was looking pretty terrible, like when Lonzo first got injured. In those couple games right after Lonzo's injury, Ingram wasn't playing that well, but He's been facilitating this offense, been having the ball in his hands a lot, kind of been playing point guard for the Lakers when he's on the court, and he's been playing really well, racking up the points, getting rebounds, getting assists. Ingram is a mid-tier play that I do like if you want to play him at shooting guard. He is one of the options that stands out to me in this price range. And one more mid-tier play I do want to mention is Evan Fournier, 5,700 against the Cavs. Great matchup here for Fournier. Aaron Gordon already ruled out for today, so Fournier going to be relied on for his scoring, which is what he is at best at. And against a Cavs team that just hasn't been playing any defense lately, we know they struggled to defend the shooting guards. I think we can definitely consider Fournier here. If you don't want to go for the value plays that I'm going to mention, you can play him at 5,700. And you also can play Satoransky, who's shooting guard eligible. You can play him at 5,200. But like I said, guys, this is another position where I see some value plays that I really like. Sub 5K. One of the value plays that's going to be in my 5 plays is Josh Hart, 4,700, going back to that Phoenix-LA game. A lot of value in this game, and Hart is another guy that I like for value. Just been playing so well lately. He's been starting the last few games. He started the last 2 games and has played 35 and 39 minutes and has put up 40 and 36 DraftKings points. The price tag hasn't really caught up to the production. He's still sub 5K, just 4,700. Really only needs about 25 DraftKings points to pay off this price tag. And in a great matchup against the Suns, I think Josh Hart a really good value play today. Definitely a guy I'm going to have my eye on. If I'm looking for some value on the slate or just looking to go cheap at shooting guard, I think he's a really good value option at 4,700. And then the last value play I want to mention at this position, Mario Hezonja, 4,500, a matchup against the Cavs. He is also one of my 5 plays today. Really like Hezonja here. Great matchup. Aaron Gordon already ruled out for today, so Hezonja going to start. He did start on Monday. Aaron Gordon did not play on Monday, and Hezonja started. Mo Spates got moved back to the bench. And Hezonja did have a really nice game on Monday. Didn't see much of a price increase. His price actually decreased a bit. He's down to 4,500. This is a great matchup against Cleveland. Love Hezonja here as a value option. You can also play him at point guard. Same with Josh Hart. Josh Hart's also point guard eligible, at least on DraftKings. So if we're just talking about shooting guard, those are the 2 plays that I see that I really like for value today if we're going 5K and under. And that's really what I see for value at shooting guard, at least plays that really stand out to me. So moving on to small forward and talking about this position, do have some options up top here. Got LeBron, Giannis, and KD all up top at small forward. Obviously, since I'm paying up for Westbrook, are going to be looking to do that today. Not really going to consider LeBron or Giannis. LeBron is in a good matchup against the Magic. We know the Magic played a fast pace. They're not the best defensive team. LeBron has had some nice games this year against the Magic. I know he had like a 60-point game earlier this year. Through 3 games against them, he's averaged 46 DraftKings points, so it hasn't been that great. He did have that one good game, though, like I said. LeBron just hasn't been doing much lately, so I'm not really sure if I want to pay up for him. With Isaiah Thomas on the court, IT just has the ball in his hands so much that he's kind of been taken away from LeBron, at least for fantasy. LeBron hasn't been that good for fantasy yet or lately, and the price tag's still up there at 11.4. I'd much rather have Westbrook. I think I'd much rather have Harden on this slate. So not really going to pay up for LeBron. Not sure if I'm paying up for Giannis either. I don't think I am. He's listed as questionable as I'm recording this on Monday night, but he's actually probable, so he's expected to play, but just not sure if I want to play Giannis here either. The guy that really interests me at small forward is definitely Kevin Durant here. With the revenge narrative, going up against OKC, his former team, we all know KD does try and play really well against his former team. You do prefer the narrative of him going back to OKC, but even though they're playing in Oracle here, I think KD still gets up for this game. Didn't play that well earlier this year against OKC, only putting up 33 DraftKings points in 32 minutes. But with Roberson off the court for the Thunder, their defense definitely takes a hit with Roberson off. They still have Paul George, who matches up pretty well with Kevin Durant. Paul George is definitely a good defender. But I think with Durant being sub 10K, we can definitely consider him here if we want to pay up at small forward. But unlike the last 2 positions, I haven't really been interested in the mid-tier at shooting guard or point guard is definitely not the mid-tiers. I don't think it's where I want to go. Not really the case with small forward. I see some good mid-tier plays. Brandon Ingram, a guy I've already mentioned, really like him in this mid-tier. But the guy that really sticks out to me, going to be pretty popular today, but for good reason, TJ Warren, just 6,700 in the matchup against the Lakers. Another guy that I really like from this game. TJ Warren is a pretty obvious play today, in my opinion, with Devin Booker off the court. A big upgrade for TJ Warren. And one thing that didn't really change, his price tag, 6,700, still too cheap, especially now that Booker is not going to play. Warren's just going to be relied on so much, especially for scoring. I think he puts up at least 35, close to 40 DraftKings points. I think he crushes value on this cheap price tag. And TJ Warren is a guy that I'm going to have a lot of interest in today. Just 6,700, think he's way too cheap. Definitely one of my favorite plays at small forward. If we're just talking about this position overall. You could play Ingram in that same price range. Might even could play Melo against the Warriors if you want to go there. But my guy in that price range is TJ Warren by far. He is by far my favorite option if you're going there in price. And if we're trying to maybe go for cheap value, if we're going sub 5K at small forward, I'm not sure if this is a position I really want to try and save salary at. I think point guard and shooting guard are two positions we can go for value. Small forward, definitely like TJ Warren here is the guy that I just see that really sticks out to me. Just not sure if I'm going to be playing any value here. I think if I'm not playing like Kevin Durant at this position, then my guy here is Warren, and you could obviously play Ingram as well. But I think that's it for small forward. So moving on to power forward, looking at plays that I haven't already mentioned. Not sure if this is a position I really want to pay up at. Just a lot of plays up top here I've kind of already talked about. You got Porzingis up top here. You could play Al Horford. I think Horford would probably be my favorite option if you want to pay up, but now that he's up to 8K, I'm not really sure how great of a play he is with this price tag. You need at least 40 DraftKings points from Horford. He can definitely get there, especially if Kyrie misses. Really only like Horford today if Kyrie is out. If Kyrie plays, won't have a lot of interest in Horford. But when Kyrie's been out this year, Horford has played really well. He's racked up the assists, racked up the rebounds, been scoring the ball lately. And this is definitely a good spot for him going up against Toronto. So you could play Horford if you want to pay up, but it's going to be hard to prioritize him over guys like TJ Warren, getting up to Westbrook. Just not sure if Horford's a guy I'm really trying to jam in, but he is a guy that I see that I would consider if I was going to that price range at power forward. But like in this mid tier, I think there are really good plays here. Draymond seems too cheap today. Not the best matchup against OKC, but just 7,400. That seems like too cheap of a price for Draymond Green. So if you want to play him, he is a guy that does stick out to me just given the price tag. I think this game's going to be really competitive. I feel like OKC has a chance to win this game. And Draymond in competitive games has done well this year. You could play him at 7,400. Cantor's been on a heater lately. You could play him as well, but I think I'd actually prefer Draymond over Cantor. Going to the 6,000 range, like Julius Randle, really like him here against Phoenix. Just such a good matchup. This Phoenix team, just so bad defensively. Both of these teams do play at fast pace. So this game's going to be pretty high scoring. And if it stays competitive, guys like Julius Randle, these guys are going to crush. Randle's been getting a lot of minutes lately. Larry Nance, his minutes have kind of tailed off a bit. He's now only playing like 15 minutes a game. And Randle's minutes have increased lately, playing over 30 minutes his last two games. If he gets 30 minutes or more against this Phoenix team, he should absolutely be able to crush today. So I do like Randle at power forward if you want to play him in that mid-range. And I think that's it for the mid-range, at least plays that really stick out to me. So trying to find the cheap value here. Not seeing a lot of cheap value plays that really catch my eye as being great options. There are some punt plays here you could consider. You could go to Daniel Tice. If Marcus Morris is out, Tice has been getting some decent minutes with Morris out. His last two games, 23 minutes. He's been hitting value on this price. Hasn't really been crushing value, but he's been getting the job done. You could play him at 3,900. You could play Quincy AC with Rondé Hollis-Jefferson already ruled out. AC will most likely get the start if he does play today. He is listed as questionable, but if he does play, he'll get the start. He's probably going to play 25-ish minutes against this Houston team that does play at a fast pace. You could go to AC if you're trying to go cheap, but these are definitely not guys I'm really trying to jam in for value. I think they're better value plays like at point guard and shooting guard. So that's really what I'm seeing for power forward. So let's go ahead and move on to center. Look up top here. Got Joel Embiid leading the pack at center in a matchup against Washington. Going to be hard to prioritize Embiid over some of the expensive point guards that I really like today, like Westbrook, like Curry. Not sure if Embiid's a guy I'm really trying to jam in today. Same with Marc Gasol against the Hawks, although that is a decent matchup. Gasol at 8,700, I'm not sure if I really want to pay this price tag for him. You need at least almost 44, 45 DraftKings points from Gasol. He can get there. He's put up 46, 43, 40 DK points his last three games. But I just think there are better options to pay up for it. At least looking at this slate the night before, I think like Westbrook, Curry, these are the guys I'm trying to jam in. Not really sure if the expensive centers are the options I want to try and jam in. I think Capella in this mid-tier is a play that I do like at 7,500 going up against Brooklyn. This Brooklyn team just been getting torched by centers this year. Definitely like this spot for Capella if he does get nice minutes. Did play Brooklyn earlier this year and played 27 minutes and put up 35 DraftKings points. Had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks in 27 minutes against this Brooklyn front court. You could play Capella at 7,500. Not a big fan of that price, but it is a great matchup, and he's pretty likely going to be able to return value on this price if he does get the full minutes. So he's a play that sticks out to me in that mid-tier. And then there are obviously plays here I've already mentioned, like Cantor. Julius Randle, really like him if you want to play him as center. You could play Steven Adams at that same price, but I think I would prefer Randle over Adams today. And then trying to go for the value plays, I think Jarrett Allen as a value option does make some sense here at 5,300 in a matchup against Houston. You don't really love the matchup against Capella, but Jarrett Allen has been playing well lately. He has been getting consistent minutes, 26, 24, and 27 minutes. His last 3 games, 39, 32, and 22 DraftKings points. This game is going to be a fast-paced game. Plenty of opportunities for Jarrett Allen to grab plenty of rebounds. He will score the ball when he's on the court. We'll get some blocks as well. You could play Allen if you're going cheap. You could play Brook Lopez. He's been getting some decent minutes lately. Last 2 games, he's played 28 and 35 minutes. I know he did complain about his minutes after that Orlando game. He came out and said that he was tired of not playing any minutes. And his last 2 games, he's played 28 and 35 minutes. So maybe this is something that continues for Brook Lopez. When this guy does get minutes, he can definitely put up the DraftKings points, especially given today's matchup against Phoenix. So Brook Lopez, another value play I see at center if you want to play him at 5,100. And then 5K and under for the cheap value. Not really seeing a lot that sticks out to me, at least under 5K. Like their plays here I've already mentioned. So I think that's pretty much it for center today, guys. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the vid. If you did enjoy the video, just make sure you give it a like and make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT or just leave a comment down below and I will try and get back to your question as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching and good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.